Supertramp's John Helliwell talks about the most musical person he's ever worked with. Alan Parsons had told me that, and I was surprised because I like John Miles. I miss John Miles, but I didn't know he'd say John Miles. He says the most musical person he ever played with was John Miles. What about you?
I've had the pleasure of playing with, not in his solo group, but the guitarist Mike Stern, who's one of my favorite musicians. And so I've shared the stage with him. I played with Randy Brecker and Mike Stern in a band that's led by a Hungarian who lives in Germany, Leslie Mandoki.
I've interviewed him.
Yeah, and he calls it his soulmates, and he gets pop people and jazz people. So I've shared the stage with those two guys and various others. Aldo Meola on guitar.
I don't know why more people don't know Leslie Mandoki. I don't know. I find it he's such a musical guy, gets all these people together, and I'm always surprised because eccentric type of guy to talk to, but he was interesting.
He is, and he gets things done. He manages to get people. If he wants to work with someone, he manages to get them somehow. It's good though. And it's been cut back a bit with the COVID, but I'm going to be playing with him and probably with Mike Stern and Randy Brecker and others. The saxophonist Bill Evans, and the German trumpet player Till Bronner, and various others. I think sometime August, September next year. Yeah, so that'll be good.
How did your parents react, or did they get a chance to react to your success? Did they see it?
Yeah, it was funny. They're not really interested in pop music at all, and I sort of struck out, and they were worried. They wanted me to keep my job as a computer programmer, but they didn't interfere so much. And then they very occasionally come to gigs, and they came down to London, and I think it was Wembley we were playing. Big gig, good gig, not Wembley, Wembley Arena, not the stadium, but it was good. And my mum and dad came, and the manager of the group at the time, he collared my dad after the show. He said, "What do you think then, Mr. Helliwell? What do you think?" And Dad said, yeah, quite good. I shan't want to see him again." Something like that.
He wouldn't, he said?
Now, how old would he be? This is 79. This is in 79. So he'd be 68.
So you were saying he would or wouldn't want to see you again?
He wouldn't. No.
Oh,
I
that's
don't need to see him again.
But
then the next time they did come again, and my mum, and the chief excitement of the trip for my mum was seeing one of the famous Australian tennis. Who's the most famous Australian tennis player from way back? Rod Laver. Yeah, my mum came to Earl's Court where we played, but the highlight of the trip was seeing Rod Laver in the hotel lobby. And my mum had a stroke, not too serious, but and I don't know whether it actually happened during the concert or not, but she was never the same after that trip.
But did they get? It's a question I ask everyone. I'm actually making a compilation of everything, and John, as you can imagine, half the parents get it because of that. That was a generation gap back then. That was really a generation gap.
I would say that my parents didn't get it what we were doing. They were musical, but as I said before, when I spoke about Christmas, they were into Handel, Messiah, and church music or whatever.
By the way, are there any someone asked, Andrea Grasso asks, are there unreleased archival things? I guess that's between Roger and Rick or have you heard that might be released?
I don't know. I don't think so. all along through the times of success, etc., we never had a big backlog of recordings. There was a backlog of songs, but they weren't put down, weren't committed to tape. So I know that Roger was very prolific, and maybe still is. So he's probably got loads and loads of songs that are not out. But as far as I know, there's never. Some things come up from maybe like a BBC session that we would have done in the 70s, and I hear those occasionally on YouTube or wherever. But there's not any new stuff as far as I know.
Don't Ever Leave Me is the brand new album from John Helliwell, formerly of Supertramp. I still don't say formerly because I can't accept the fact that the band broke up in 2015. But you just never know. I'm always holding on to hope. A one-off show? More from John Helliwell in the next 2-3 days. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.